All right, a couple things that I think I mentioned, but I might have forgotten to mention on yesterday. I think I read the essential question to you. They are there. Press the second button, yellow button, and press it on. Okay, and then cut it back on. You could do that. Second and then on. All right. Okay. You have an already project. All your important dates are on Canvas. So if you forget what I'm saying, please go and look under special announcements, and all the dates for the quarter are already there. So you'll know what's coming up next. Some of us may use it and some of us may not, okay? But the dates are there. Your already project is 3 lessons again. I'm going to assign you 2 and then you can work on your own track. Actually, I'm going to put in 3, but you don't have to do but 2, okay? But you have to have a total of 3, so you can do 2 of mine and 1 of yours on your track, or you can do all 3 of mine, okay? But I'm going to assign 3, and out of the 3, you choose 2, and you can work on your own track. You have to have a total of 3 lessons. When is it due, Miss Reyes? It's due December the 2nd. So that's a little ways away. All right. The only reason why you didn't have 2 already projects last quarter is because of the diagnostic test. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All right. Okay. We don't have a quiz this week because we're not going to be able to finish all those concepts. It's a short week. So we'll have a quiz next Friday. Today, we are going to do, you should have already completed the warm up. We're going to write in our planner. I'm going to model for you. I'm going to give you one more way to write a linear equation, and then I'm going to model how to write linear equations. Given M and B, and then 1 point in the slope. And I wrote that on the board. We're not going to write all that here. You're going to do some practice, and then hopefully we'll get to play the game. We have a game that we're going to try to do. I didn't make a video for this because it's the same thing as last night. So if you want to go back and watch the video from last night, you can, because it's the exact same concept. Okay. Does anybody need me to remake that again? If you need to see more graphing equations, anybody struggling with graphing points? All right. Okay. So, but you do have a homework help video for Thursday. All right. Let's write in our planner. We didn't write in it yesterday? Okay. Maybe I forgot. All right. So we got 11, 1. Say again. Yeah, just skip that one. 11, 1 through 11, 4 is this week. And this is quarter 2. Ooh, I'm skipping a whole quarter. Quarter 2, week 1. We did not have any school on Monday. Abdul, was that seat going to be too much for you? Yes, baby. It's on my desk. He'll come back and get it. He always leaves it. He needs to stop doing that. Somebody could easily take that. All right. Math 8, Math 1. Tongue tied today, y'all. I'm so sorry. Yesterday, we had a video. Homework help. And you were to complete your work. Please also make sure that you're studying your notes. The notes that we take is going to make it so much better for you if you review the notes that we take that day. Okay? That's less studying you have to do later. If you did all of that last night, then check it off. If you didn't, don't check it off, okay? Today's homework, Again, Math 1. We don't have a video. You can watch the video from yesterday because it's the same concept. And you need to complete your homework. Please make sure that you study notes. I'm going to pause for the calls to give you a chance to write. Take out your interactive notebook. We're on page 2. If you missed the page from yesterday, I uploaded it to the Canvas page. So please go back and write those notes in from yesterday. Okay, real quick review. On page 1, we have intro to linear equations. A linear equation is a straight line. A linear equation are equations that graph straight lines, and we practiced graphing straight lines in our calculator on yesterday. Okay, you have lines that have positive slopes. That's when the line goes up. You have straight lines that go down. That means they have negative slopes. You have a straight line that is horizontal. That means it doesn't have any steepness. There's zero slope there. And then you have vertical lines, lines that go straight up and down. They have undefined slope. Nonlinear equations are equations that do not graph straight lines. If it's not a perfect straight line, that means it's a nonlinear function. There are going to be many types of nonlinear functions that are going to have special names, and we'll get to those special names for those functions a little later in the year. But we're going to classify it as a nonlinear function. That just simply means that it's not a straight line. Any questions? Page 2, we talked about different ways to write a linear equation. We talked about different ways to write a linear equation. Okay, a form. Form is the way something looks, like a Taco Bell uniform or a UPS uniform. It's just the way that it looks. So when equations look like this, it's written in the slope-intercept form. Okay, where your y, remember we talked about the different names for y. Y can be called your output. It can be called your range. It can be called your dependent variable or f of x. M represents the slope. That's your rise over run. Okay, that's the steepness of a line. Another word for slope is rate of change. X, different names for X is going to be your input values, your domain, or your independent variable. Most of the time, your independent variable, your X, is time, like hours, days, years, because that's unaffected by anything. Hours is not going to fluctuate. Okay, so that means that that's going to be your independent variable. Things that don't depend on anything else are going to be your independent. You usually graph those along the x-axis. Okay, your B is called your starting amount, your y-intercept, or sometimes we say constant. It's a constant because it has no variable attached, and we learned that as one of our first definitions when we were talking about the difference between a numerical and an algebraic expression. All right, we wrote some examples, or we did the formula for slope, and then we did some examples of what an equation looks like in slope-intercept form. Just because y doesn't come first doesn't mean it's not in slope-intercept form. Y could be on the other side. It could be 7x plus 8 is equal to y. It's still written in slope-intercept forms. Malaysia, sit up, babe. All right. Then we talked about the standard form, where A, B, and C are all numbers. Your A term or your number that is attached to the X cannot be negative, cannot be a decimal, cannot be a fraction. These are examples of what that looks like here. You have your X term, your Y term, and your constant on the end. The number that has no variable attached to it is by itself. So it could be the other way around. You can have 7 is equal to 5x minus 2y. That's still standard form, as long as the constant is on the side by itself, the x and y term is on the other side, and your x term does not have a negative a decimal or a fraction attached. All right. The last form that we're going to talk about is the point slope form. This is page 2 continued. This other uniform that we're talking about, when you see equations written in this form, it's the point slope form. Got it? You in the twilight zone, girl. It looks like this. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Okay? And I'm going to explain what each of those parts are, okay? I'm going to pause for the calls, give you a chance to write, and then I'll tell you what each of these things are. Okay. So y here in this case is the same as y always is. There's different names for y. So y is always going to be, what did we say it was? It's going to be your output. It's going to be your range. It's going to be your what? Starts with a D. Y'all need to study. Dependent variable. You got to study. It's not going to fall out the sky and tap dance on your head. You got to study. And what's the last? F of X. Okay? That's what that Y is. So you're going to just see Y there because Y is going to be what you substitute in if you're trying to find X. Okay? So it's going to be Y. Okay? All right. So now your Y1 though, your Y1 is your Y coordinate. Okay? Your Y1 is your Y coordinate. You know, remember in slope and you have your two order pairs, X1, Y1. That's whatever that is. That's the number that you're going to substitute here. So Y1 is the Y coordinate. Okay? Well, what do you guess M is going to be, y'all? Slope. You said it right. Don't be scared. Slope, or what's another word for slope? What's another word for slope? I keep saying the same. Rate of change. That's why you got to study. You jokers got to study. All you got to do is have a little bit of toilet time. You take your notebook with you. Everybody should release every day at least once. You take your notebook with you to the toilet. Don't use it as toilet paper, but you take it to the toilet with you and you read over as you are making a deposit. Okay? That's all you got to do. And it takes a while for some of us to make these deposits. So you got a little bit of time to do input in your brain. Input, output. Input knowledge, output the trash. You got it? Okay. You need some toilet time. All right. Your X. What do you think X is going to be? Domain. Good. Somebody said it. Domain, input, independent. Thank you, Lord. Okay. Now, what do you think the X one is? X of 1, really. X coordinate. Yay, y'all. Okay. So obviously, the point slope form tells you what the slope is, and it gives you one ordered pair that's on the line. Okay? It gives you one ordered pair that's on that line. Any questions? Y'all sure? Okie dokie. Examples. let's suppose that we have y is minus, I was going to say equals, Lord. Y minus 2 is equal to 3 parentheses x minus 7. This, and when you see something that's written like this is in point slope form. What information do they give you, Miss Reyes? They give you the slope. In this problem, which one of these numbers is going to be my slope? Come on. 3. Very good. And they give you 1 point. What's going to be my 1 point that they give me in this problem? 7, comma 7, comma what? 2. X1, Y1. Okay? Any questions?
So if no matter where the other number is, we just take the other number.
Well, no matter, rephrase it so I can understand perfectly.
So like where 7 is, right?
Where 7
so
is?
It's in the parentheses, and we would just take whatever number is left and put it in the Y.
Yeah, because remember, this was Y. This is Y1.
Okay.
This is M. This is X, but this is X1.
Okay.
Do you understand it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's do another example. 2. Y minus 8 is equal to, let's do 1/2 parentheses X minus 3. All right, so what information did they give you? They gave you the slope and they gave you a point. See if you can get that on your own without me telling you. And I'll pause for the calls. Got to unpause. What is going to be my M? 1/2. Okay, what's going to be my ordered pair? 3, comma what? 8. Got it?
Yeah.
You put it backwards. Okay, so remember the Y's are together. Y, Y1. The X's are together. X, X1. You got it? Let's try another one. Okay. I'm going to try to squeeze it on this page because I don't want to go to the next one. Y, let's do plus this time. Whoop, I'm going to trick you a little bit. 2 parentheses. Let's do a negative 5 parentheses X minus 11. All right, I'm going to move this up here with this one, okay? So they give you 2 things of this linear equation, because it is a linear equation. They give you the slope, and they give you 1 point. Oops. They give you the slope, and they give you 1 point. Okay, good folks. Let's see. What's my slope here? -5. Good job. Yay. All right, and what's my ordered pair? What's my X coordinate? 11. Just 11. Negative is part of the formula. And what is going to be my Y? -2. Yeah. Because negative is a part of the formula. So you need to infer that it was a negative before. Because a negative times a negative is going to switch that sign to a positive. Any questions? All right, here's the fun stuff. Do you have your foldable that I gave you? Take that out. One person from each table, please go pick up the supply bag. If you don't have one, it's one in the folder or it's one on the table. Then it's on the table. Yes, baby. Is this right here? You need a pair of scissors and you need, you talking about you need a massage. I guess so. That's it. Just that one sheet, baby. You need glue and you need scissors. And I'm going to pause for the call. Okay, good folks. You're going to fold this. This is the bottom part of the foldable. You're going to fold it You're gonna fold this. If you turn it on this side, example 1, you see where it says glue? You're gonna put glue in this section and fold it in the middle there. So it's gonna be a little flat. So right here where it says glue here, I'm gonna put glue on top of the word glue. I can't say it no plainer than that. Put glue on top of the word glue. And fold it. Press it down. Yes. Yes. We're gonna run out of glue sticks because people are very I've had the same glue since the beginning of the year. Like the same glue. You guys are abusive to the glue. You paint with it. It's not, you don't have to paint. It's a little dab. Shh. This is just a little dab.
You wanted to put it right. Oh, okay.
Where it says glue. I'm going to pause for the calls. I see some people struggling. All right, so now, please pay attention to this part because this is where people be messing up. You're going to fold this little flap upward to make sure you can see all the examples. Mine's a little crooked, but that's okay. And do you see, when I fold it like that, I'm going to flip it over and cut the little dash lines. Please don't cut through both sheets, okay? Because you know how people be doing that and be messing stuff up. Just be messing stuff up. Because you want to be able to fold the flaps up. Don't make it hard because we're not doing brain surgery today. Yes, baby. Fold it up. Yes, and cut the little slips. Do you see how I folded up and cut?
I'm so hungry.
You hungry, baby?
I was seeing a song.
I know. All right, it should look like this. I'm gonna fold it back down. So now we're gonna write linear equations in slope-intercept form. So we're gonna we are gonna work on the first form that we talked about in our notes. There are 3 forms that I gave you: slope-intercept form, standard form, and point-slope form. We're doing slope-intercept form first because that's the one you're gonna see most frequently anyway. Okay? And that's the one that's gonna be up and down your test. So we're gonna do slope-intercept form first. We're going to write the slope-intercept form if we're given only the slope and the y-intercept. So let's open that tab. So let's suppose that they only give you M and B. This is the easiest kind of equation to write. So they're giving you only M and B. Let's do the first example. They want you to write an equation of a line with a slope of 3. So that means M is equal to 3. And a y-intercept of -2. That means B is equal to -2. Please write. The slope-intercept form that we are putting this equation in is y equals mx plus b, where, of course, m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So all we're doing is substituting these numbers in. So my answer here, my equation here is going to be y is equal to 3x minus 2. This is how you write the equation. Any questions about that?
Yeah, why would it be minus? Why would the subtraction? Oh, okay.
Because it's a negative to 2.
I didn't see it.
That's okay.
I even wrote it.
Yes, baby. How did I know what, babe? Sorry. Oh, you probably didn't look over your notes last night. Hold on. Poor baby. We're going to go back. I told you to study your notes. Did I say that? Do you see y-intercept is B? It's page 2.
The first thing is yellow.
Okay. You got it now, babe? You got it? Okay. All right, let's do number 2. Shh. Now I want you to do this one on your own. Write an equation from the line with the slope of negative 1/4 and a y-intercept of 5. I'm going to pause for the calls. All right, so let's try. All right, so they want you to write an equation. You're writing an equation in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, which one of these numbers is my m? Negative 1/4. Which one of those numbers is my b? So then how do I write the equation? Y equals what'd you say? Plus 5, because it's a positive 5.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you got that right.
The first time.
Perfect.
In like 30 years.
Oh, shut your mouth. You ain't 30 years old. All right.
My mom.
Y'all, is everybody good? Is there anyone that's lost? All right, let's look at the graph. Now we're writing an equation from the graph. Okay, so that means we have to identify m and b. We're using the same. Y equals mx plus b. Remember, I told you there are 2 formulas for calculating slope. I'm going to go back. Look, we wrote down both formulas. Rise over run and y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? All right. And we found slope in the last unit that we did. Let's look. Let's identify what our m is first. We're going to use rise over run. Please write it. So let's find rise over run. So pick 2 points. The points are already chosen for you. You pick 2 points that's on the line. And you're going to count rise over run. I'm going to go from this point to this point. All right. How far do I go up using the grid lines? 1, 2, 3, positive 4. So my top number is a positive 4. How far do I go over? Positive 2, because it's 2 to the right. 1, 2. When I reduce this, what's 4 divided by 2? So m is equal to 2. Okay. What if I went the other way, Ms. Reyes? I would go down. That's negative 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would have negative 4 on the top. I would go to the left. So that's negative. How many do I go to the left? So that's negative 2. It still reduces to what? A positive 2. So it doesn't matter which point you go from start at. Now we're looking for the y-intercept, B. B is where the line crosses the y-axis. Which one of these is the y-axis? The vertical number line, the one that goes up and down. What number is this on the y-axis? -1. So B is -1. So how would I write this as an equation? Y is equal to what? 2x minus 1. See if you can do number 4. Jonathan, you good? Okay. James, what about you?
I'm good.
Okay. We're doing number 4 now. Is the slope of this line going to be a positive or a negative? It's going to be a negative. What's wrong? What you need, baby? There's one up there. Yeah. Hold on, I might have one in here. Can you pass this over? Jonathan, you got an answer? You got to ask questions, babe, if you don't understand something. You can't just sit there and expect me to know you don't get it. Y'all got to make sure that you're a little bit more vocal and say, I don't really understand. Because I'm not Dionne Warwick. Y'all don't know who Dionne Warwick is. She's a little black psychic. She old. Real old now. Is she still living? I hope so, Lord. She doesn't look old, but she's old. I hope she's still living. I never used to watch Dionne Warwick. Every time I saw her on TV, I would just turn. I was like, there she go again. Dude, I don't really believe in psychics, though.
I'm confused.
It's okay. Yeah, I believe in spirits. I wouldn't say ghosts. I mean, I'm not scared of ghosts. I mean, what can they do? They can't kill me. Yes, I can. Yes, I do. I'm not easily scared though. You're gonna get punched if you try to, scare me like that. That's why I say, please don't. People rolling up, please don't do that because reflexes are terrible. Please, God, don't do that.
So you don't go to the haunted house?
Yeah, I'm not scared though. It's fake.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, do you ever get jump scared?
It's fake. They're trying to do it. It's not much of a surprise. Like I try when I go see a scary movie, I try not to look for the graphics because I know how that works. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I wonder how they okay. I bet they did this. See, so it's no fun for me. In my head, I'm thinking about all the graphics that they're doing. And I'm like, ugh, that's a graphic. Oh, I can see it now because you're noticing it. Huh? I don't know. Them Jason movies and stuff don't scare me because they too old.
I know.
And I know it's coming. I'm like, girl, why are you falling? You deserve to die. Why are you falling? It's awful for me to say that. I'm like, but isn't that true though? Like, why are you falling? Every time. Or they go into a dark room. Cut your lights on.
Or they'll take like 30 seconds to open their car.
Take the 30 seconds. I'm going to have my key even today. Before I leave the building, I have my key in my hand. You got to get me. I ain't going for free. If they got me, they good. Yeah. You got and all this fat. You gotta first of all pick this fat up and put it in the car. That's why it's good to be fat. They don't usually steal fat people. We are good. That is a lot of weight.
Like imagine trying to cut my neck. I'm like,
it's true.
I'm like, how
many 600-pound people get stolen?
They're the ones that do the stealing.
No, they're not because they breathing hard. They can't pick us up.
John Wayne Gacy.
Who?
John Wayne Gacy. Everyone's stealing.
He crazy. Is it right? All right, let's go. Pick up your cell phone. Oh, what did y'all get? Y is equal to what? Negative 4x plus 1. Because the slope is down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then positive 1. Even if you go up 4, you're going to the left 1. It's still negative 4. Huh? The line from left to right. It starts up here and it goes down. Look, if you read from left to right.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Oh, good. I'll check it tomorrow.
Okay. I just have to do tonight's.
Okay, baby.